All right. So finishing this up involves things like the ears and the hair. The ears, you're going to start by establishing that base color, and then you want to look at the areas that indent. You're always going to get a really dark right in here where that ear canal goes into the head. Most people have a fairly dark shadow right here and right up at the top where the top of the ear curls. Pay particular attention to the earlobe. Some people, like Jennifer J-Lo here, have this earlobe that curls down and back up, and other people have a very flat earlobe that just comes straight out from the head. So take a look at that. Also take a look at the earlobe itself. Particularly older people have a very pronounced crease in the earlobe. And oddly enough, they have discovered that that has a connection to heart disease, of all things. Didn't know you could tell things like that about yourself, could you? Just from looking at somebody's earlobe. The hair, you want to pay attention to a couple of things. How it comes off the head. It's not a line. You don't draw the edge line of the hair. It's little hairs that come off of that forehead. And there's usually a main established hairline, and then there's like these little baby hairs that stick in front of it. They're usually thinner and shorter, but you want to pay attention to those two areas. And then as you begin to draw the hair, you've got to pay attention to the direction it's styled, and your lines should be drawn in that direction. You need to pay attention to any place that has a shine. So like she's got a big shine right in here. So instead of going through that area, I'm going to work the dark that's out at my edge, and I'm going to work the dark at the front, and then I'm going to run just a few lines through that shine so I keep the texture, but I also keep the lightness to it. And then if I need to, I can go back in and add a little bit more value to it. When I look at longer hair, even like the stuff that's over here, I need to pay attention to the same kinds of things. What direction does it go? How long is the hair there? And then you need to go back and really push your darker places in the hair. So like where it's curling out from behind her head, it's a little bit richer of a color there. Again, I'm just using that number 2 pencil. And once I have established my general direction, then I can go back in and find little chunks that are darker and add a little bit more value to those areas and leave the lighter areas stand out lighter. Now, when you're dealing with somebody like Will Smith, I think this is A3's choice. His hair is very short and it's curly. So instead of straight lines, you're going to use that scribbly, scumbly mark. Even along the hair edge, though, you're going to have that scribbly, scumbly mark. Where the light hits it, you're going to put fewer scribbles. Where it is darker and richer, more scribbles closer together, more layers. And then my 4th hour class, you guys decided to do, his name escapes me, oh, Morgan Freeman, there we go. And he's got very white, longer, also curly hair. So you're going to still make that very scumbly mark, but it's going to be very light, and it's going to be very far apart, and bigger, longer marks. Once you've established that, then you can go back into areas like right along the hairline. A lot of times the skin will show through at the hairline a little bit more than it does out further away. And because we get a lot of sun, we end up with some darker areas right along the hairline a lot of times, just because the skin is showing through that white hair. The other thing is, I could set his hair better if I did the background. So if I put a darker background back here, it would give a nice contrast against his white hair.